The government, they're constantly thinking of new ways to screw us over royally. This time, the government printing insane amounts of money, causing the inflation rate to absolutely soar. Oh geez, I wonder, what would happen if, I don't know, you just put trillions of dollars into the economy that didn't exist before by printing them like an absolute madman? Geez, could that possibly, I don't know, cause inflation that hurts people in the country? Could that take away the United States' standing on a global scale? Could that hurt the broader world economy more largely? Could that truly have ripple effects that affect an entire generation negatively economically? Well, it certainly could, and you know what they're doing? 9.1% inflation rate. It's time to get into some of the juiciest stats around this, exactly what it means for Dogecoin, what it means for Bitcoin and Ethereum. Make sure to subscribe with the notifications on. If you want to make money right now in the market, you can do. That's absolutely possible. So what you need to do is subscribe with the notifications on, and then you can hear about some of the latest news and opportunities in the market. Now, it's not easy to make money in the market at this current point in time, but it is possible. So make sure to join our community. But take a look at this. Inflation rose 9.1% in June, even more than expected as consumer pressures intensify. Pretty insane stuff right there. I mean, that's a massive, massive, massive increase. And you can see it's actually worse than that. Real incomes as well, take a look at this, fell 1% this month. So the average amount the people in our country are earning fell an entire percentage point. It's down 3.6% from a year ago. That is inflation adjusted. So even with the inflation changing, people are still making 3.6% less. So the economy is absolutely down the hole right now. Inflation is going really bad, and it's just ridiculous that we have to deal with all this stuff simply because our government officials are so dang irresponsible and clueless that they can't get this stuff right. I mean, it's really not complicated. You just simply have a smart economical plan that makes sense. You take some risks on, you accept the fact that you can't please everyone, and you do your best to run your country like a business and grow its exports and grow the amount you're able to get money in from other countries in exchange for goods and services. It's that simple. It's not very complicated. And yet, for some reason, people can't figure it out in the government. And the truth is, it's not just, a lot of people think, I'm just attacking Biden right now. And the truth is, yes, Biden has and his administration have printed way more money than I would like to see, but it's not just Biden. We have seen Republicans doing the same thing. Donald Trump, when he was in office, also printed way too much money. That's simply a fact. Every single president, Obama, Trump, Biden, have printed way too much even before that. When you start to look back at Bush, we have had president after president after president that has printed way too much, not cared so much about inflation, and done really, 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 really bad things. A lot of this started, actually the biggest increase we've ever seen was in around 2008. From 2008 to 2012, it went from a massive jump right in those years, and then it's continued to get worse and worse and worse over time. So it's not just that we can elect a Republican or Democrat and have this be the right answer. No, we cannot just elect anyone. We have to elect someone, regardless of what party they are, who actually knows what they're doing and is going to be smart on the economy. It's really that simple. It comes down to those things. We have to be very careful here. And a lot of people will get emotional about politics. The truth is, it shouldn't be emotional. It should just simply be, who is the best person to make our economy not suck? And we really, really, really do need someone good. And I think it's going to take a massive, massive surge at the polls for us to actually have that happen. And it may take a while. I mean, people, unfortunately, oftentimes will vote simply based on who they know rather than who's best for the country. That needs to change, I think. You're the only one here. Must be proud right now, says Ray. And the truth is, I don't think anyone should be necessarily voting just based on party lines. But at the same time, it is true. Take a look at this. We just did a poll on, do you think Joe Biden is a good president, on my Twitter? And the answer to that is, a staggering 83% of people in our community believe Joe Biden is not a good president. And that is largely because of the way he has handled inflation and the way he has handled printing money in the economy. That is why 83% of people think that. And by the way, I did a poll not that long ago. Are you a Republican or Democrat? It's around, I think, 50-50. Our channel is not just Republicans. Our channel is not just Democrats. It is 50-50 approximately. Maybe I think there might be like 55%, 60% Republican, 40% Democrat, something along those lines. It may be like a slight lean. I'm not sure why that is, but regardless, for that to be the case and for it to be 83 to 17, that just shows you that a lot of people are really disappointed with the performance here. And the truth is they should be, but it's not just that they should be disappointed with that performance. Really, we should be disappointed with the fact that we're not electing people who put the economy as one of their main issues and who put stopping inflation as one of the most important things to them. If you look at the real inflation report here, you can see, look at that, absolutely monstrous numbers here. The real inflation report is significantly worse than the inflation report that the government is telling you. And this right here is the shocking truth. Take a look at that. Official CPIU, experimental SGS, 1990 based. You can see the inflation report they're telling you is like, oh yeah, 9%. You can see it right there. That right there is 8, then 10. The blue number, though, is the real inflation report, and it literally goes off the chart. They didn't even make the chart big enough for this. It's literally, look at that. It's literally going up to the letters up there. That's how bad it is. The real inflation report is as high as 20%. That's crazy. It's somewhere between 15 and 20% for the real inflation report adjusted. And it's just shocking that that could even happen. Yet somehow, here we are right now. Year-to-date change, you can see the red versus the SGS, once again showing this. This one shows it all the way up at 18 approximately percentage points versus what we're being told right there, 9. Regardless, even still in the last few months, it has spiked up even more massively than inflation has. So we're seeing pretty terrible numbers all across the board here. And it is time to... Matt got me out the hood, says Dickham. Nice. Welcome out the hood. Hopefully you enjoy the non-hood that you're now in. Come on, people, post... someone said, yeah, people have been getting more political lately. The truth is, I've tried to stay out of politics as much as I could and just cover crypto. But at the end of the day, it's getting so bad now that we can't help but to say that what's happening right now is atrocious and it should not be happening. And we have to have change, or else our country and the entire world will feel very negative impacts. Now, here's another really interesting thing. You know I love to bring you stats and facts on the show. Take a look at this. Thank goodness you stayed until the 6-minute mark in the video. Otherwise, you wouldn't have seen this. This is really cool to look at, but also really bad to see, if that makes sense. Venezuela has the worst inflation rate. This is inflation by countries ranked. Turkey has the second worst. Those are 167% for Venezuela and 78% for Turkey. Then Argentina at 60.7%. Then Russia at 15.9%. Then we have Poland at 15.6%. Brazil at 11.9%. Spain at 10.2%. UK at 9.1, US at 9.1, and Portugal at 8.7, Netherlands at 8.6, and we continue going down. But look at that. The US is literally right now ranked 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 in the world. It's almost on the same page as Russia at 15%. How is it that Russia has close to the same inflation rate as the United States? That should never happen. The only way it could is if you literally have the stupidest leaders on the planet. That's like giving someone one of the fastest cars in the world and telling them, okay, you can race against all of these random assorted cars. Some of them are kind of fast. Some of them are really, really, really slow. And to have the fastest car in the world be the one that's losing the race in what? Out of 100 and however many countries, 200 and however many countries, depending on which map you look at, the US is in the bottom 10%, bottom 5%. How do you rank, like, what is that? Like ranking like 190 out of all the countries, and you have literally the fastest car, the best machine, the best system, and yet that performance, it only can be happening if the driver's terrible, and unfortunately it has been for a while now. And yes, I mean, I hate to say it, but it is true. We have not had a president who has not spent too much money in a very long time. We've had Republicans spend too much. We've had Democrats spend too much. We have continued to see people caring more about random social issues than actually caring about the issues that matter, like the economy, which is ridiculous because social issues aren't going to impact you on a federal level. What's going to impact you on a social level will be more of the state issues. On a federal level, it's all about the economy. The federal government's entire job should be running the country as efficiently as possible as a business. It's really that simple. If we want to have an improved quality of life, we do that. And not only will that happen for us, but like with the example of Tesla, making the world a better place and also making profit, the US can do the same thing by bringing products that are incredible and make the world better to the entire globe, by manufacturing, by bringing a more efficient energy across the world. That will help out and make things better while simultaneously improving the quality of life for residents of the country. It's so simple and easy. Literally, a random CEO of any business you could find in the world could do a better job of running the country than what we have seen from politicians, which makes sense, right? Because politicians are literally just designed actors. Politicians are actors. Why are we electing actors to the office rather than electing business people who specifically are going to focus on the economy. Now, a lot of people thought Trump was going to do that, right? That he was going to not spend too much, but then he went in office and he did spend too much, which I was surprised by. I didn't think he was going to do that. And so at this point, you just have to wonder, please someone, I don't care if you're Republican or Democrat, please someone, for the love of God, just do the right thing on the economy after you win. That's all we ask for. The ideal situation would be we have a Republican and Democrat who are this election cycle put into the positions of their parties where they could win the presidency, who are nominated, and both of them are sensible and logical, and both of them have a good plan for the economy, and neither of them is crazy. If we can somehow accomplish that to the point where no matter who wins, we will have a way better off country than what we've had, then I think that would be a massive win. And then at that point, it wouldn't be so divisive. It would just simply be, who do you like more? Which social issues do you agree on? Because at that point, if the economy is going to be good regardless, then it comes down to social issues, which is really how it should be. At the federal level, the economy should never be a question as to how that's going to be run. We already know what works. Just do it. It's not that hard. Someone said Elon for prez. Someone said Matt Wallace for prez. Okay, I'll be president of Dogecoin. How about that? Doge will go up, says Joel Chavez. I happen to agree with that. Matt, what are your thoughts on Tesla P iPhone? Looks awesome. I heard it can mine crypto whenever it gets released, says Ray. And Joel says Doge it is. Dogecoin faithful. Matt Wallace coin. Oh, look at that. We're having some fun in the chat now. You love to see that. And you also hate to see this, though, still, regardless. I mean, some good stuff, some bad stuff in there, like Italy, Mexico, even the UK at 9.1%. The UK is also having similar issues. But the truth is, at the end of the day, we just simply want to see people in positions of power in our government doing the right thing for us and making decisions that help us rather than taking money from lobbyists to make their own random crazy decisions like we often see happening for their own personal interest rather than for our interest as the people. Anyway, I'm Matt Wallace. Dogecoin to the moon. By the way, that's another thing that we have to mention. Dogecoin right now, as a result of inflation, has been relatively stagnant because people are scared for the overall economy and therefore they do not want to invest in Dogecoin because people have yet to realize on a broad scale that there is value in cryptocurrency as a hedge against inflation. There's only value if enough people think there's value. And right now, the truth is not enough people have realized the value of Dogecoin and cryptocurrency as a hedge against inflation because most people just see it as an investment to make money exclusively in the short term, rather than an investment to make your portfolio in the long term have more safety in it. People don't necessarily relate crypto to safety yet. That is coming. It will continue to grow. We do have big people in the crypto space that are optimistic for that very reason, because as more and more people start to shift over from their current mindsets to the mindset of, okay, I really can't be holding too much fiat. What can I put my money in? At that point, that's when we see cryptocurrency doing really well. That's when we see it going up. That's when we see it becoming a valuable commodity. Just like we saw the housing market going crazy, we will see the same thing for cryptocurrency. It is outside of the norms. It does not have the same inflation pressure that's completely and totally random and unpredictable that the government has, with the ability for it to go just insane at any point. We can't have that for the world's largest economy. That's just not acceptable. And so it really is so crucial and important that the right steps are taken now. Doge to the moon, says Juan, and also the fact that housing market is not cooling, which attributes to inflation. That's true as well. Also, what's happening in Ukraine, says Alex, that's also something that's impacting it. But the truth is, that's not having the biggest impact. The biggest impact is just simply the printing of money at the end of the day. But yes, that is also something that plays a role. You don't scare me. That was hilarious. I'm going to have to steal that, says Alicia. What was hilarious? I'm not sure. Someone must have said something funny, but it could have literally been anything. Who knows? Maybe someone made a knock-knock joke. Why the chicken cross the road? That could have been it too. Who knows? Take it to the other side, by the way, is the answer. Just in case anyone ever asks you that. Doge 1 mission, how are you? Says Norala. And Daniel says, do you think Doge will still hit $1? 100%. I mean, Dogecoin to $1 this year is absolutely going to happen with the moon mission, which is expected to be this year. Now, the only thing you could say is, okay, well, Matt, maybe the moon mission will happen. Okay, sure, maybe it won't. But also maybe anything won't happen or will happen. You never know. So if you want to play on that game, then you could literally never have a perfect prediction. But if you just want to predict based on the events that are scheduled for this year, which the moon landing is scheduled for this year, one of the first tests of Elon Musk's Starship rockets that we'll be putting on the moon, potentially a Dogecoin, then that you can base off of your decision to believe Dogecoin will go to $1. It's that simple at the end of the day. That right there is a single major catalyst, and combine that with the market will start to look up again before the end of the year, as it typically does. Those two things together will be a recipe for big success, and I'm excited about it. The chicken just wanted some KFC, said I'm a brand. Yeah, that could be true too. I mean, you know what? Chickens they may like a little KFC from time to time. You know, it's not a big deal. They're chickens. They can eat KFC if they want. Just a couple nuggies for my chickie. No big deal. Luna Classic to the moon. What the heck was that? I have no idea what I just said, but whatever. I said it anyway. Deal with it. Love you, dear Matt. Love you as well, says Nurala. And Luna to the moon. Alicia says, don't leave us, Matt, with 2 crying emojis. Unfortunately, I have to just go get some milk real quick. All right. I'm just gonna don't worry. I'll be back. I'm just gonna go grab some milk real quick and be right back here. Definitely not gonna leave the stream right now. Just going to get milk. All right. I'll see you later tonight.